I was 12 when this happened. I had eaten a whole can of salt and vinegar Pringles at lunch. I don't know if that's what did this or not, but it probably at least contributed. I was sitting in the living room and let out a silent fart that burned. You can guess what that likely means. Yeah, it smelled. Bad. In fact, I couldn't sit there anymore in it. I had to get up and sit in a different chair to get away from the smell. But for some reason, the stench really lingered in the air, and it followed me as I walked across the room. A few minutes go by before I farted again, and the same thing happened. I stunk myself out and had to move back to the first chair I originally left. The thing is, my sister was sitting on the couch in the middle of the room and quickly caught on to what I was doing. She quickly got annoyed with me, but I kept on farting, requiring me to keep switching chairs back and forth. I ended up fumigating that whole room with my gas. My sister told me to either stop farting altogether or go do it in my room, but I couldn't stop. I just kept on blowing ass every couple of minutes. I definitely didn't want to end up doing that in my room and be trapped in there with it. We kept arguing these points while I continued farting, simply because neither of us wanted to leave. It went on for like 15 minutes. How dumb and lazy we were. One particular Saturday back when I was in high school, my older brother was really gaseous and kept farting on me all day. I'd come around a corner and he'd be there bent over, waiting to float an air biscuit right at me as soon as I'd appear. Or he'd sneak up on me and literally put his ass on my back and rip one. It was super annoying, but I would get the last laugh. I was sitting in the kitchen while he came walking down the hall towards me. He stops, squats down, and rips another one. Only this time, his eyes immediately go wide, and a panicked look appears on his face as he exclaims, "Oh, shit!" Literally. He does an about face and sort of waddle runs to the bathroom. He came out about 5 minutes later with his underwear in his hand, and a grin on his face as he heads outside to dispose of his soiled undies in the garbage bin. Of course, he had to show them to me first before he threw them away. Ugh, he was such a clown. But you better believe that I sure as hell didn't ever let him live it down. I even told my dad about it, and we both had a good laugh at my brother's expense. I still bring it up once in a while. Said brother's kids think it's especially hilarious. This is my uncle's story. Back when he was in college, he landed a date with this really cute girl from one of his classes, and he's feeling pretty confident. So, he goes to her dorm to pick her up, and as they're walking to his car, he feels a small fart building up. He opens the passenger door, and she gets in. He shuts her door and decides to let the fart out as he's slowly walking around the car. It was a small fart, so he didn't think it would be an issue. But apparently, it was super concentrated or something, because as soon as he got in and sat down, it was obvious that the fart had followed him into the car. He said it was quite an awkward conversation for the first few minutes, until his stink bomb finally dissipated. That was his only date with that girl.